A Russian news agency says that Kurdish forces have started leaving northern Syria with Russian troops moving to enforce a ceasefire along the Turkish border. President Trump has lifted sanctions against Turkey as a reward for making a deal with Russia to stop the fighting. He says that he's fulfilling a campaign promise to get out of conflicts in the Middle East. Paula Reid is at the White House with more on this story. So, Paula, good morning to you. Does this mean the U.S. is getting all the way out?
Oh, good morning, Gayle. The president confirmed that a small number of troops will remain in Syria to protect key oil fields from ISIS. A U.S. official tells CBS News that plan will involve at least 200 troops. But with a small presence, the U.S. is effectively relinquishing influence in the region, and it appears Russia will now be calling the shots.
This was an outcome created by us, the United States, and nobody else.
But the U.S. was not at the negotiating table when Russia and Turkey struck a deal to end fighting in northern Syria.
Let someone else fight over this long, blood-stained sand.
And while the president framed his announcement as a triumph in his effort to press other nations to take responsibility for foreign conflicts, he failed to mention that Russia and Turkey will jointly police a border zone in northern Syria and push out Kurdish forces who had been working alongside the U.S. in the fight against ISIS.
Other countries have stepped forward. They want to help, and we think that's great.
The president appears willing to cede influence in the region to Russia, saying that the fight against ISIS now falls on others.
You cannot rely on Syria, Russia, or Turkey to protect the United States against ISIS.
The White House has tried to downplay how many of the 10,000 ISIS prisoners in Syria may have escaped.
There were a few that got out, a small number, relatively speaking, and they've been largely recaptured.
But that's not what the president's special envoy for Syria, James Jeffrey, said on Wednesday.
We would say that the number is now over 100. We do not know where they are.
For now, the fighting has stopped, but the Turkish offensive, which was unleashed after the U.S. withdrew earlier this month, cost hundreds of lives and forced hundreds of thousands of civilians to flee the fighting. Anthony?
Paula, thank you.